Let's start. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with this area now. 1 second, please wait. Okay, that's fine. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead. Now, why am I taking this training session separately for you all, and what is the main reason for it? I'll tell you briefly. See, what happens is whenever I've taken mentorship sessions, that time, many students have some common concerns. Like, sir, what should my schedule look like? I'm planning to do this strategy according to you. Is it okay? Then what happens is I have to repeat the same matter individually to each student every time, and with which it has become a painful task for me. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, whatever common points are there, I'm going to tell you first. Okay. Then I'll tell you about the one-to-one mentorship session that you can book, and after that we'll take it ahead. Okay. Because you guys are our students only, so you understand that it is free of cost for you. But you can, of course, book it and ensure that your study goes on in a certain track. On that, I'll speak much more in detail later. Now, mentorship session is for what? First of all, I want to cover a lot of key things here. Okay. So, what are the major points I want to cover in this? First is I want to cover your macro plan. So, what is a macro plan? What it should look like? That I'll cover first. Okay. Second, I'm going to cover the micro plan. Micro plan. How do you make the micro planning? Third, what are some tools that you can use? What are the various tools that you can use? Okay. Now, the first tools in that I strongly recommend is something called as oomph area. I must have discussed this with you briefly, maybe in the class with few students. I don't remember. But oomph area is a very key area for discussion. So I'll tell you that. Second area is something called great areas. So this I call GRA normally. So GRAR, great areas. So this areas, I'll tell you how it goes and how it benefits you in your preparation. So wait for it. Next, the third area that I want to discuss with you all, the fourth area I want to discuss with you all is in relation to your discipline. So, how do you ensure that as a student you are disciplined and you don't go off track till your September exams? Okay. So, that is basically what I want to discuss with you all. And last, we'll keep it to a Q&A. So, whatever queries you have, openly you can share with me. Pretty sure that any issue that you're facing, your fellow batch members may also be facing. So if you ask a question, that will help them also to understand. Okay. These are the main areas which I want to cover. Everyone, please write in the comment section whether you're able to understand what I'm trying to say. There should be no sound or video glitch. There should be no sound or video glitch. So just please confirm one last time. Please just confirm one last time. Okay. Let's go for PCR. Let's start. Now, in this case, what are we doing? You can see. First, let's discuss about something called as a micro plan. Now, what macro plan? What does macro plan mean? Okay. Now, all of you all take a notebook and a pen and do some calculations with me. This you have to do together only. Only then you will understand the gravity of the situation. Okay. So let's do it, please. Here. Tell me, how many days do you have in the month of June remaining now? So we are around June 15 now. So let's take 15 days. So I'm writing here in June, we have around 15 days. So you can just write here June 15 days. Okay. Then July, you guys will have 31 days, correct? August, you guys will have 31 days. September is your examination. But in August, no, I'm going to subtract 5 days here in August. The reason is because let's assume that you are going to take the last 5 days of August for preparation of your first paper. Okay, so that I'm subtracting here. So if you do the calculation, I think you will get 72 days, correct? So you have 72 days remaining. Okay. Now these are the 72 days regarding which you have to plan very, very properly. Out of the 72 days, I always recommend that keep 5 days as buffer. College may start, you may be asked to go to college, do some work, this, that, you may fall ill, some family function is there, you will have to attend. something or the other is there. ठीक है, घर पे कोई शादी रहेगी तो also you know that what kind of time goes in that. Okay, so I'm going to remove 5 days here, and this will call it as buffer days. Always take buffer. Okay, never feel shy of taking buffer days in this case. Okay, so I'm removing 5 days here. So let's say 67 days, and now we have to do the calculation with this. Okay, you guys have around 8 subjects to prepare. 8 subjects. So let's do further calculation here. Remember 6 papers, but 8 subjects. FM and SM are 2 different subjects. DT and IDT are 2 different subjects, correct? So I'm doing divided by 8 subjects. So the number of days that you can give per subject, it comes to around 8 point something. It will come to, I think, 8.3 or something. 8.37, something like that it will come. Okay, 8.37, something like that it will come. We'll just round it off to 8. So I'm going to take here as 8 days. Okay. So now you bring it down to 8 days per subject. Now, my dear students, you have something called as 8 days per subject. That's it. So per subject, maximum time that you can give is 8 days per subject. Now you have done for your unit test 1, you must have prepared. And now we are having this discussion after that unit test 1. So now you will have maybe unit test 2, prelim 1, prelim 2. That is what the planning will be. So now how do you plan your studies accordingly? Let's take a macro approach. Let's see the macro days. 8 days per subject basically means what, my dear students? 8 days basically means, let's divide it further. You will have to do at least 3 revisions from here onwards, correct? At least 3 revisions. So the first revision, let's say it will take around 4 days per subject. Second revision will take around, let's say, 2.5 days per subject. And then you will create an exam-like situation. And then you will take here 1.5 days per subject. That is how the days will get divided, correct? So your 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus half and half will be 8, correct? So 8 days per subject you have. Now, this is your broad approach. So now you should understand that any day that you waste, any day that goes without productivity, then that will be 4 minus 1. It will become 4 minus 1. So basically, you will have only 3 days for that subject. So you'll have 4, 2.5, and then 1.5. That is how the timing will be there. Second, so you'll have 4 here, you have 2.5 here, and you have 1.5 here. Okay. So it will take like this, it will take time. Okay, just a second, please wait here. My daughter is in a full naughty mood. Just tell her hi so that I can tell her that she has to stay outside. Hi, Chole. Hi. Camera, hi, Chole. Hi. Hi. Okay, now. ஃபுட்கள் வயலுக்கும் இவங்க எல்லாம் படாய் பண்றோம். ஓகே, நீ வாழ்க்கை நல்ல ஸ்கோர் பண்ணதுக்கு இல்லையா டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ண பார்த்து. ஓகே, இல்லை அப்படி என்ன சொல்லி கொடுக்குறோம், இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் சொல்லி கொடுக்குறோம். ப்ளீஸ், குட் கால், குட் அட்டி கறிக்க மாட்டேங்க. சலோ, குட் கால், குட் கால். Sorry for that. Okay, I'm taking the session from home. So she likes to normally sit and hear the lecture, but normally after just 10 seconds, exactly like y'all, she also gets little, what is this? What am I doing in life? And then she wants to do the other time pass. Okay, so please here now, let's come back to the topic. So you will give 4 days, 2.5 days, and 1.5 days, respectively, for each of your revisions. Okay. Now, in this note, you have the power to allocate the subjects the way you want. I'll give you an example. In this micro planning, what you can do is you can write here, let's say, accounts as the first subject, law is second, then you have taxation as third, indirect taxation as third, indirect taxation as your 3B, so-called third paper B part. Then you have the subject of costing. Then you have audit. And then finally we have FM and very close SM. So that is basically because we have allocated 8 subjects. Now, while planning, no, you have to write like this. See, you have to write here, see, revision 1, revision 2, and revision 3. These are your 3 broad, what you call columns that you will make, okay? Now, you have, let's say, 8 subjects here. Now, you just think about it, that in SM, do you actually need 8 days to revise SM? Do you actually need 4 days for strategic management? The answer is no, correct? So, just allocate that how many days you will need. Let's say you tell yourself that I don't need 4 days for SM. I may need, let's say, only 3 days for SM here for revision 1. For this, I may need just only maybe 2 days here, and I may need just 1 day here, or let's say half a day here while doing this part. Okay. So maybe you allocate in this manner, or let's say if you put like this, that you need 2 days instead of 2, you put here maybe let's say 1.5 days here for SM. So now I hope you understand for SM, no, you could allocate 8 days, correct? You could allocate 8 days because that is what the answer we got here. But are you allocating 8 days? The answer is no. You're allocating only how many days? 5 days out of 8. So you understand here, you get plus 3 days here, which you can give to some other subject. Which you can give to some other subject. Similarly, let's go to financial management, FM. FM, let's say, again, you say that FM, I can complete this in 3 days here. I need, let's say, 1.5 days here. I need, let's say, 1 day here. That you give the allocation for, let's say, FM. So in this case, my dear students, you understand that you get in this case 5.5 days out of 8 days for FM. So I hope you understand that you get a plus 2.5 benefit here. But this might not be the case for all subjects, correct? Like for audit, suppose if you guys feel good in auditing, then you may need less days. If you feel bad in auditing, then you may allocate more days. So like that, you have to fill the table and you have to ensure that allocation is done. Let's say for accounts, you say that no, account for the first part, I think I need 5 days because it is a heavy subject. Let's say in this case, instead of 2.5 days, I need 3 days for accounts. And let's say in this case, I will definitely need around, let's say around 2 days for accounts instead of 1.5 days. So you can see here in this case in accounts, you need 10 days. So you're at -2 in accounts. So I'm just writing here -2 you're having in accounts. So I hope you understand that your 8 days per subject, this area is just a mota moti figure that we have got. But that you can allocate depending on your preparation and your confidence. You can allocate the days to different subjects in your own manner. Okay. So this is that macro plan that you need to do. Okay. So I will request all of you all before our mentorship session starts, one-to-one session starts. I will request you all to give the heading called macro plan and complete this for me. So you have to ensure that this table is there for me because a lot is going to depend on what kind of plan you have made here. So when I have discussion with you, I'll be first asking you to share the macro plan with me. In macro plan, I'll need these details here, this allocation of +2.5, +3, -2, -3, like that entire allocation I'll need so that I know what you have thought of and how many days you want to give. That will be the case. And of course, I hope you understand that this I cannot give a standardized number of days. Depends on what subject you like, what you find tough, what you find easy, depends on all those things. Okay. Everyone, please give me a thumbs up on the screen. Please tell me understood on the screen. Please tell me on the chat area. Can you please tell me clear or not? Tell me clear or not? Okay. Now this is basically our macro plan. Okay. Now let's go to the micro plan that you will be making. Okay. Now micro plan you need to understand in much more detail. Okay. Now I want you all to again go to your notebook and make a micro plan in this manner. Please here. See, while making the micro plan, you have to ensure that you are using the time very strategically and properly. If you fail to do that, then in that case, what will happen is you will realize much more later that the reason for failure in the attempt was not the topic concept or the knowledge. It was poor planning. Okay, and that will hurt a lot. And the problem with poor planning is that it is not easily identifiable. So many of the students in CA entrance, CA final make this blunder where they strategically go wrong. They feel that they are covering all the areas, they are doing the required hard work, this, that, all these things they are doing. But actually, their plan is not that good. It is filled with blunders. Okay. So I'm going to help you to avoid those blunders. So understand with me how it goes. See this. You have to pick up a combination. Okay. Combination of a theory and a what do you call a practical subject. Now, let's say that in this, my dear students, let's say that you are picking up, you take up accounts, and along with that, let's say you take SM. So let's say this is the combination that you're picking up. So how many days are you able to give? You're able to give how many days? 5 plus 3, that is 8 days. So basically your accounts and SM portion should get over in the next 8 days. So you have to ensure that accounts plus FM is getting over in 8 days, correct? So now how do you work with this area? So let's see this part, please here. So what you do is, first of all, always write your waking up time. So get into a schedule. The rule number one is to get into a routine, get into a proper routine. Routine is extremely crucial. If you don't get into a routine, no, then what happens is you don't get clarity of how much time you have in that day. So you have to get into a routine. Let's say your routine says that you have to get up in the morning at, let's say, 6:45 a.m. So I'm writing here 6:45 a.m. It can be 3:45 a.m. also for you. It can be 8:45 also for you. It can be 9:45, 10:45, whatever it is. You need to have a routine in place. Okay. So let's say it is 6:45 a.m. for you. 6:45 a.m. when you get up, no, stop wasting time. No phone. Zero looking at phone. Get up. Ensure that you're brushing your teeth, using the washroom, whatever it is, whatever is your morning routine. Ensure that you are getting it done in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, it should be done. Don't take bath also, it's fine. Okay. 15 minutes, you should get done with this. Morning 7 a.m. Because your mind is fresh. See, when your mind is fresh, no, I don't want you all to not to use that time. Okay. So morning 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It should be your first killer 3 hours slot that you need to hit. That you need to hit. This 3 hour slot, no, you have to focus on theory first. The reason is because your brain is fresh after a good sleep. So you can absorb the concept, or the, if you have to memorize a lot of things, it is easily absorbable if it is done in the morning session. Then you take a half an hour break. In that, I strongly recommend that in that half an hour break, because you will need some freshness after you have studied theory for 3 hours. You should be doing something called as, let's say, you should be having a breakfast. By the way, in this also, I'm not telling you not to eat something up. You can eat your, fruits or something if that easily, which you can, but without wasting time, any of those time in 3 hours. Or in 3 hours, after 1.5 hours, you take a small break and take 10 minutes break, 10 minutes without the phone, 10 minutes take a break, and then ensure that your breakfast and all is done. 10 a.m. You do your breakfast if you are doing a full-fledged breakfast, and after that also take a shower. Take a shower here so that you are fresh again. Again at 10:30 you have to sit again, 10:30 to 1:30 p.m. You should again push again 3 hours. Sorry, you should again push 3 hours, and you should be doing the practical subject now. So again 3 hours you'll be doing something called as practical. Again 1:30 you're done with it. Again 1:30, of course, you'll be having your lunch or you will be munching something. So I'm writing your lunch, and plus lunch you also take a nap. Lunch plus nap, and plus nap you take. And let's say you take time off till around 2:45 p.m. You relax. 2:45 p.m. Get up again, splash some water on your face. Again, take up theory. Theory again should go for around 2 hours, maybe 45 minutes. 2 hours, 45 minutes. Again, you should take theory. Sir, why are you giving such long slot? 3 hours, 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. I'll tell you that later. Wait for it. Take theory. And of course, this will go to around 5:30 p.m. So 5:30 p.m. Again, relax. Now, this, when I say relax, I mean genuinely relax. Go for a walk. If you guys are working out, then go to the gym. If you guys are, let's say, watching a TV show and that helps you to relax, I don't recommend that, but that if that helps you to relax, then chill basically. So watch some TV show, Amazon Prime, Netflix, or something you do. Then after this, 6 p.m. you have to again be back after having a nice cup of coffee or tea. You again be back. 6 p.m. to again 8:30 p.m. You have to again do a 2 hours 30 minute slot. Of again you have to do practical. You have to again do practical. Finally, you will be done by around, let's say, 8:30 p.m. So 8:30 p.m. you are done. 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. dinner plus family time. So chill with your family, genuinely chill. If possible, without the phone, talk to them, talk about your day, relax. Because what happens in CA journey is you don't tend to socialize the way you were. So what happens is you tend to become mentally fatigued. So you need to change the topic, talk about something else. Just or watch a show. Like relax. Let your brain have a diversion here. Speak to a family member or a friend. Call up a friend. Speak to them for 15 minutes. Relax. So in that case, just have family time, or genuinely relaxed time is very much required. At around 9:30 p.m. So after an hour, 9:30 p.m. Till at around 11 p.m. 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I just write here till 11 p.m. You have to do something called as OOMF, which I'll teach you. Oomph areas you have to pick up. And these oomph areas are what? I'll tell you that, but you have to pick up the oomph areas. What these are? Wait for it. With this, no, just do the calculation with me, understand with me, and see how it works. You get 3 hours, you get 3 hours, you get 2 hours, 45 minutes, you get 2 hours, 30 minutes. So basically, you are getting around close to around 11 hours of studies you're getting. Plus, this till 11 p.m. you're doing oomph areas. What is that oomph? I'll tell you. So that 11 plus 1.5. So that is 12 and a half hours of studies you're getting. Close to 12 and a half hours. I know it's 12 hours, 45 minutes, but 12 and a half hours. पकड़ लो अभी फिलहाल के लिए, ठीक है? And this should be effective time. There should be no phone around at this time. Phone usage, if you want to see something, your phone usage is, I'll show it in some other color, maybe green here. So this is the time that you can use a phone, this slot. Maybe this slot while having lunch, maybe see the phone. You're chilling here also, you're chilling here also. All these times are there to see the phone. Okay, so you can see the phone during this time. Peacefully, you can go through it. But the hours that you have given here, no, strictly for studies, strictly for studies. Okay, unless you're watching a video or recording of a teacher to understand the matter once again, then you can, of course, use the phone. Rather than that, strictly you have to study without the phone. If phone is there, no, I've seen that that is a major distraction. You don't realize that 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you keep scrolling, 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 and that doesn't stop. It's like a involuntary action of your brain. Okay, so ensure that you're staying a little bit away from that. Okay. Now, this is the general plan that I'm giving you. Now, of course, if your waking up time is different, then this entire time slot will change. Suppose if this is, you are getting up in the morning at, let's say, 4:45. A student in your batch only messaged me that, sir, I am into getting up very early and sleeping early. Then great. I recommend that. It's superb. If you're able to have the discipline, amazing. So you get up at 4:45. So everything goes back, every time goes back by 2 hours. Every time goes back by 2 hours in this case. Okay. So ensure that if you are going to as per that, then you adjust your schedule accordingly. Now see, this is your theory first slot, practical first slot, theory second slot, practical second slot, and this is your oomph area. Now P1, P1, P2, P2. In this, you will be taking as per our planning. Remember, we are doing the planning for FR and SM. So, of course, in theory, you will take strategic management. In practical, you will take FR. FR means accounting, sorry. If FR is in CA final, inter it is accounting, accounts. Again, T2, in this case, you will be taking strategic management. In this case, you will be taking accounts. You have to play with that in this exact same manner, okay? Oomph area is what? Now let's come to this discussion, okay? I want you all to prepare one more list. So this is your list number 2 that will be sending it to me. I already told you your macro plan list will be the first one. Your micro plan is the second thing I need because this is what I keep with me for every discussion that I have with you. I go in a very organized manner. So I'll be doing in a very proper, you'll realize that in a very proper manner. So I need all the information from you. It is like a doctor helping you to become all right. And if you don't tell me the entire symptoms, then I cannot guide you properly. So micro plan, you have to give me, you have to make a schedule like this and tell me, okay, sir, there's a schedule I'm going to follow with the same thing, not what you're going to study. I just want this lunch plus nap, this I'll do theory, this is my breakfast shower, but it should have the similar format. Maximum that I'm allowing you to change is the timing. And maybe some upper niche in the schedule, depending on the lunch that you have in your family, at what time you have the lunch, obviously you can change. But many of the times I feel that students sometimes go in the ओवर स्मार्ट मोड एंड व्हेन आई स्पीक टू देम दे से नहीं सर मेरा को तो है ना यहाँ पे वो 12 घंटा का पढ़ाई नहीं होगा मैं तो सिर्फ 6 घंटा दिन का पढ़ सकता हूँ तो आप देख लो अभी क्या करना है इफ यू आर इनटू दैट नो then we are not having matching of thoughts. It's like Djokovic appointing a coach and the coach has different plans. Djokovic himself has different plans. In that case, the coach cannot help Djokovic to win the Grand Slam. Djokovic can do that by himself also. So if that is the case, then I am of no use to you. Then you tell me, sir, I have different perspective, so I'll do it in my own way. That is very good for me because it saves my time. Okay, saves my time genuinely, and I really need to save my time. So then you can do it in your way. Now, what is this oomph area? Now, oomph area is what I understand. Oomph means one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Okay. Now, in this, what do you have to do? This is the master stroke on this one. If you ask any student of the previous batch, they will also tell you this will genuinely help you to work out the time properly. You write here, I'm writing FR since when you have to write accounts. Okay, first accounts. Accounts right there. The top 4 areas in accounts that you find very, very simple, very, very manageable. You feel, oh, this is super easy for me. So let's say you have internal reconstruction there. Let's say you write there AS. Few of the AS you write here. Let's say AS 1 you find very simple, 2 you find it very simple, 10 you find it very simple. Let's say AS, let's take 11 foreign exchange, you find it very simple. Like that you find, let's say these AS simple. I'm just taking an example, okay? Let's say third area, you find one chapter very, very simple. Some chapter in accounts you find very simple. Another chapter in accounts you find very simple. Suppose. Strategic management, again, you write here 4 areas that you find simple. 4 areas doesn't mean 4 chapters necessarily. It can mean a pick within a chapter. Okay. So you can write area 1, area 2, area 3, any area that is substantial, basically. So you write here area 1, area 2, area 3, area 4. That is whatever you feel you find very easy, you write here. Like that, you have to make for every subject. So for every subject, you have to give me the areas that you find genuinely super simple. You enjoy doing it in the class. Also, you have understood it very, very well, and you have a sense of confidence in that. Oh, this too I know. Oh, I'm very good at this. Then that you make a list of it. Let's say I'm pretty sure in your batch, if I talk about law, because I taught you law, few other chapters I taught. So in that, maybe it is very much possible that in your batch, you may say, sir, chapter number 9, accounts of companies, sir, I find it genuinely very, very manageable. It seems super easy. Or you may say that chapter number 10, audit and auditor, sir, I find very much in control of that. Then you can write those areas also here. Okay. Like that, you have to make a list of 4 areas. It can be chapter or a big topic, chapter or a big topic. And you have to make this list one of my favorites. And this is your third thing that you will give me. Again, I'm telling you, macro plan is the first submission that you have to do. Micro plan is the second submission that you have to do. Third is you have to make a list of the oomph areas and you have to submit me that. Now, oomph area, how do you use it? See, areas which you already love doing. No point taking these areas during the day when your brain is fresh. You have woken up from sleep, your brain is fresh. So it is your most efficient time. Repeat after me, most efficient time. In your most efficient time, no, do the areas that you normally don't like. Again, after breakfast, you've taken a shower also, so you are more fresh. Because you're fresh, it's one of your most efficient time during the day. So again, take an area in practical, which is some so-called a tough area, something that you find, oh, this is slightly challenging for me. So again, theory, practical, like that in these times, you will do the areas which are challenging. But at the end of the day, no, when you're at this 9:30 p.m. after you've had dinner, chilled with family, you are genuinely in a very lethargic mode. You feel like, chalo yaar, abhi phone dekh ke so jate abhi. You're in that zone. At that time, my strong recommendation is don't, don't waste the time by just scrolling in your phone or doing time pass. Ki, chalo, I'll scroll my phone till I get sleep. Then morning I'll see. Don't do that. Use that time. You'll thank me later for it because what you're doing is you're using your least efficient time of the day. At the end of the day, is normally a little bit tiring for you. Least efficient time. Take up something which is very simple for you, something that you enjoy doing. Costing, let's say service sector costing you enjoy. So take up that area. I'm not saying you have to wrap up that entire area. Service sector costing, let's say, takes maybe around, taking a wild guess, let's say around 6 hours to finish that chapter. Suppose, example I'm taking. So if you are able to give 1.5 hours here, then tomorrow, next day also give 1.5 hours, then 1.5 hours, then 1.5 hours. At least 4 दिन में वो खत्म तो हो जाएगा. At least the chapter is now out of the way. So you're not wasting that least efficient time. You're doing something and at least finishing something. Keep this one of my favorite areas as your weapon. It is your BrahMos missile, basically. So in your least efficient time, do the most simple areas so that it is not a headache for your brain. You enjoy also. There's a lot of advantage to it. You enjoy also. You're using the least efficient time also. You complete and you get a sense of completion that, okay, this much I have done. And you have enjoyed that work also. The reason being because you like that topic. So you sleep happily, basically. You sleep with some happiness that, oh, I've completed some nice area. Like that you sleep. So you perceive with a positive mind, makes a big effect for the next day. Okay. So my entire goal is that you push yourself during the day. So at the end of the day is much more relaxing. Yeah. Tell me everyone in the chat area understood the micro plan and the discussion regarding one of my favorite areas. Please tell me. Okay, better. Can you go ahead now? Let's see. Now, discussion number three. Discussion number three is on what? It is about whom areas I've already discussed. Now I'm going to talk about something called as GRAR, that is great areas. Now, GRAR, how does it work? Understand why it is important. Now, there are some situations that you may have to deal with. Okay. Now let's discuss those situations first. Sir, ये situations क्या क्या होंगे? Let's see. First is a student falling ill during the exam. Okay, ill during the exam. Second, a student is having some kind of an emergency during the exam. Father not feeling well, mother not feeling well. One of our CA inter students in Ghatkopar, father had some major issue. I think it was in relation to some throat issue was there. Well, later on they had to go through for a surgery. Throat surgery you rarely see, correct? No. So he had some throat surgery, and the family members were smart enough. The brother and the mother was smart enough to not tell the student, or PDLC student, Ghatkopar student. So the daughter came to her father as having is unwell, but they told her, no, no, he's in a doctor's watch, he's in the normal ward. The father was in the ICU. अब कभी कभी घर पे ऐसा सिचुएशन आएगा एंड सपोज दिस फैमिली प्लेड स्मार्ट बट सपोज इफ द चाइल्ड कम्स टू नो बाय सम वे in that case it can cause the loss of an attempt because the child is not able to concentrate, right? So it can become a big problem. So we have to work for that contingency also. Can happen with anybody's life. Don't have that arrogance of being immune. Oh, ये मेरे साथ तो नहीं हो सकता. Relax. It can happen with anyone. So there can be emergency situations. Third, students who are aiming for rank. For them, this is superb advice which I'm going to give you. Okay, and students who are aiming for an exemption or thinking that, sir, maybe rank may not be possible for me, but sir, I'm planning to score very, very good marks. Then this for you. Okay, so this will cater to almost all the students. So I want you to understand first what is this. Every subject, I want your 50% of the paper of the subject. Let's go subject wise. Subject to be, see what I'm writing, extremely strong. Extremely strong. Ideally, 100% should be extremely strong, but even we understand that we are giving the CA exam. So I'm giving you a much more conservative percentage that 50% should be extremely strong. Extremely strong means what? You should know the things at the back of your hand. You should know the matter so well that even if on the exam day you don't get the time to prepare, don't get the time to look at it, still you are comfortable in that. I'll give you an example. Let's say in accounts of companies chapter in law, chapter number 9 of company law, there is section 135, correct? CSR. CSR chart अगर आप लोग का इतना अच्छा हो गया, you have done the chart so well that you know the chart at the back of your mind, and you know that, oh, I know this superb in a very good manner. On the exam day also, if they ask you, okay, the company's net profit is so and so, net worth is so and so, turnover is so and so, please calculate CSR, please suggest whether CSR will be applicable. And then they give the profit figures of the last 3 years and calculate the CSR amount. Suppose they give you this. Suppose on the exam day, imagine that last time you had done CSR was close to around 20 days back in your revision 3. And on the exam day, you are not able to do CSR because of any of these reasons, any of the mainly first two reasons, or some other reason similar to the first two. In that case, still you should be able to answer. Many students in the past have told me that this is one of the best advices I've given them. Because what happens is, right now you cannot foresee the future, but when it happens, no, you suddenly want a plan B. This is our plan B. Ensure that your great areas is covering 50% of the subject. So from now on only, no, in your mind, start making the great areas list. It will not get made today. This great areas list will be finalized when your revision 3 is done, when we do the one-to-one mentorship session. But your great areas list should be getting prepared till the time you reach there. So as soon as your revision 1 is done, you may realize, oh, this chapter is superb. I am amazing at it. So let me put this in great areas. It can be one of the oomph areas also, no problem. It can be an oomph area also, no problem. But I hope oomph area, the purpose was to help you at the end of the day. Great areas purpose is not the same. Great areas purpose is to help you to cover 50% of the subject is already done so that on the exam day you're relaxed. Okay. So revision 3, your great areas, I will ensure that I will have to ensure in your schedule that great areas you are focusing a lot, because that great areas is only going to help you to score excellent marks in the examination. It is like a cheat code, you know. See, on the exam day, do you have this much time? Let's say this box represents the exam day time. This is your 1.5 days. Before that only, if you have covered some areas before that only and you have made them very, very strong. So I hope you understand the only thing that you have to do on the exam day are the other areas. So you'll have to do the other areas which are there. So your burden on the exam day is less. Suppose if all these emergencies don't happen, you don't fall ill, there is no emergency in your family, which is a good thing. I hope that happens. So you understand here, if there is no emergency, you don't fall ill, then great. No, then that means the great areas, my dear students, will put you under super fast mode, because the great areas will be covering in extremely quick manner. Means you will be feeling like a superpower for completing these great areas. Then you will be going into these areas in which you will have to strengthen it. So I hope you understand that start making the list of the great areas. This also I'll take it from you, but I'll take it only from you only after your revision 2 is over and before we start with the revision 3. When we have that discussion, during that time we'll have one-to-one discussions. That time I'll request you to give me the great areas list. Everyone very, very clear, yes or no? Please tell me in the chat area. Finally, last one. You have to ensure that you are extremely disciplined. And I am very, very strict about this matter. Discipline is a quality. It is a life quality. A person who is disciplined, forget your studies. Look around in your family, in your friends, parents, maybe. Always see those who are disciplined, no, must have done excellent in life. Excellent. And those who are not disciplined, no, somehow lose their path and they wither away because they are not disciplined. Not discipline basically means what? Discipline basically means that to know your priority, to know your priority and acting accordingly. That's it. You should know your priority and you should act accordingly. That is discipline. Okay. Something that might be a disciplinary issue for you may not be for me, may not be for some other student, may not be for some other student, because we all are different human beings, correct? But if something is your priority and you are not acting accordingly, then you're not disciplined. Now, currently, the priority is that you should get up in the morning, hit those 3 hours of studies. That is a priority. But if you get up in the morning and keep scrolling your phone, watch Instagram, keep scrolling, get into a chat with someone and this, that, you just keep discussing, then you're going away from your priority. So you have to first write there, what is my priority? What is my priority? And make something called as a priority list of the day. Priority list of the day. So what is the priority list of the day? So let's say you put here complete so and so area in the first slot, the T1 slot, complete so and so area in T2 slot, complete this in the P1 slot, complete this in the P2 slot, complete this in the OOMF area. That becomes your priority because you are my CNT students. So you have your priority clear. You can have other priorities also. You can say in a priority, I have to go for a birthday party, proper, no problem. Suppose if there is a friend of your very close friend, birthday, they go celebrate. One day, if you leave your studies, nothing bad will happen. Don't worry. But plan accordingly. And put it in your priority. Oh, I have to attend the birthday so that there also you are in a happy frame of mind. There also, if you are wondering, oh, मेरा ये पढ़ के नहीं हुआ, वो पढ़ के नहीं हुआ, मैं इधर टाइम पास कर रहा हूँ या कर रही हूँ, if that tension is there in your mind, then you will not be able to enjoy that birthday party also. If you have to go out with your family for dinner, your parents requested, चलो एक दिन dinner जाते हैं, we'll go as a family for dinner. Then in your priority list, accommodate for that. Accommodate. Tell yourself, okay, evening that feria I'll not be doing. So feria I'll not be doing. I'll be going for dinner today. No problem. There is definitely no. But this dinner should be your priority then. And when it is your priority, then you should give importance to that. So my funda is very clear. Discipline is you should know your priority and then act accordingly. As simple as that. So priority is in that evening time on a particular day to go for dinner with parents, family members. Enjoy, genuinely enjoy. Go with a happy frame of mind. If you go there, but your brain is still telling, "Arey, this chapter is not done, that chapter is not done," no use. Family member wedding is there. 3 days, wedding mein jane wala. That 3 days wedding should be your priority. You should allocate time for that. Your planning should be so strong. Allocate time for that. Okay, these 3 days I'll not be able to study. Okay. Or I'll be able to study maybe for 2 hours every day. So in this, I'll cover this area, this area, this area. And for the other time, I'll be busy with the wedding functions. Then enjoy the wedding. Enjoy means have a blast because that is your priority for that time. So discipline is very important quality that not only during the CA course, but after becoming a CA also, it will take you a, a long way ahead because you know exactly what I need to do. Very, very important. Even I have been an indisciplined student. And the moment I came to know about this from a book that I read, after that, I realized that, oh, I am deviating regarding so many matters in my life. I am not following a priority. And that put my brain in, I don't know, some very focused mode. I can tell very proudly that since that time till now, even I have been a reasonably very well focused person. But I want to tell you all also that ensure that you are disciplined, know your priority, and act accordingly. Okay. Very, very important. That is what I wanted to share with you all. Now, I will request you all to unmute and ask your queries if any specific is there. I'll request you all to stay till the end of the session because then I'll talk about the one-to-one sessions and of course you can hear the queries being asked by your fellow batchmates. Okay. Go ahead. You can unmute and ask me the query. If you have any specific query, please ask. You can unmute and ask the query openly. Please tell me. Rishi,
So
tell
when
me.
will you?
Rishi, tell me.
Yeah, sir. So right now I had completed like 60-70% of my portion, and
Hmm.
I thought that like whatever is left is covered in the unit test 2. So I was looking that unit test 2 के साथ साथ ही I'll complete.
हाँ ठीक है ना तो यूनिट टेस्ट 2 खत्म होने दो सो यू डू वन थिंग यूनिट टेस्ट 2 देन अकॉर्डिंगली चेंज द प्लान सो यूनिट टेस्ट 2 खत्म होने दो यूनिट टेस्ट 2 होने के बाद देन डू दिस सेम डेज कैलकुलेशन द वे आई डिड एंड देन प्लान फॉर रिवीजन 2 एंड रिवीजन 3 इन दैट मैनर सो रिवीजन
Okay.
2 रिवीजन 3 का ये वाला जो प्लानिंग है थोड़ा चेंज होगा यहाँ पे देन यू विल हैव लेसर डेज पर सब्जेक्ट बिकॉज उतने दिन खत्म हो गए रहेंगे ना फिर तब तक सो
Yes,
यू
sir.
प्लान
Okay.
अकॉर्डिंगली नो प्रॉब्लम सी आई एम गिविंग यू अ बेसिक गाइडलाइन आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू स्ट्रिक्टली कि ऐसे ही करना है you guys are smart enough and big enough to understand कि अच्छा sir is giving me an idea let me play around with that idea कि कैसे कर सकते हैं but in the end तो दोनों का गोल तो सेम ही है ना I want you to become a CA you also want to become a CA that तो I
Yes, sir.
understand ठीक है ना बोलो somebody else I think Sid also raised his hand no Sid also you wanted to say something
Yes, sir. I was just asking that when would you suggest we do the PYQs and MTPs, etc. Which revision?
along with chapter so anytime whenever I write this chapter here it is along with chapters so never it is not excluded this I told you when the class was also going on when I told you कि क्या क्या पढ़ना है रोज का that time also I made it very clear it should be done as early as possible and now unit test 2 is there so unit test 2 में when you are now preparing and you guys are planning to give unit test 2 then your those chapters का PYQ RTP MTP side by side होना ही चाहिए it is
Okay,
not even
sir.
optional it has to be done so 1 minute why it has to be done let's understand that also understand you are a CA student correct this is what you were taught in the textbook of the class whichever class you joined so this textbook में सिखा दिया textbook में सिखाने के बाद तो this covers your textbook which is a pretty major area discovered हो सकता है मॉड्यूल में कुछ और कॉन्सेप्ट तो सेम है, टेक्स्ट बुक जो सिखाया वही कॉन्सेप्ट है, लेकिन मॉड्यूल के क्वेश्चंस अलग है, तो मॉड्यूल में कुछ और अच्छे मसालेदार क्वेश्चंस आर देयर इन द मॉड्यूल, good questions are there in the module. Then after that, if you do RTP, sometimes in RTP you see some questions which are superb. बहुत मस्त बना है, जिसने बनाया रहेगा क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छा सोच के बनाया क्वेश्चन, वेरी चैलेंजिंग एरिया. Then if you do a past PYQ, you come to know कि अच्छा हो PYQ में भी कुछ अच्छे क्वेश्चन आए एग्जाम में. Then when you solve some mock test paper, your purview more increases कि oh this is one more way this concept can be asked in the examination. Your job as a student is to keep broadening your periscope, keep broadening your scope of work. That is what you need to do as a student. भी सोचो यहाँ पे, just imagine that my dear students, you have done this area, ये टेक्स्ट बुक का जो एरिया है ये तुमने कर दिया, लेकिन एग्जाम में इसमें से क्वेश्चन आया. नाउ इट इज वेरी मच पॉसिबल दैट यू हैव नॉट सीन दैट ट्विस्ट. वो जो टेढ़ापन है ना सीए के क्वेश्चंस का, वो आपने देखा नहीं है. तो अगर आपने देखा नहीं है तो आप एग्जाम में उसको पहली बार देख रहे हो. तो अगर आप वो पहली बार देख रहे हो, सो टेल मी इन दैट सिचुएशन विल यू बी इन अ गुड मूड इन द एग्जाम और इन अ बैड मूड इन द एग्जाम? विल बी इन अ बैड मूड. अरे यार ये कहां से आ गया? बट सपोज इफ अ स्टूडेंट हैज in his periscope, the student in his scope of work, the student has, my dear student, look here, see, has covered this and has covered, let's say PYQ तक उसने कर दिया, मॉक टेस्ट पेपर देखने का टाइम नहीं मिला. Now if a question comes regarding this, he knows how to tackle it, मॉक टेस्ट पेपर का आ गया क्वेश्चन तो ये थोड़ा आउट ऑफ द वे जाएगा, थोड़ा इसको शायद ये मुश्किल पड़ेगा. So the only reason for me telling you all to do the RTP PYQ mock test paper is not to put you under burden, is so that you can face more variety. The more variety you face now, the lesser variety you will feel on the exam day when you're writing the paper. Sid, very, very clear.
Yes, sir, got it.
So you have to accommodate that. सर बहुत एफर्ट जाएगा इसमें. हाँ मतलब वेलकम टू सी एग्जाम्स. सर बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ेगा इसमें. वेलकम टू सी एग्जाम्स. एवरी टाइम यू कीप क्रिबिंग, नो, जस्ट रिकॉर्ड माय वॉइस विद वेलकम टू सी एग्जाम्स एंड कीप प्लेइंग इट. व्हेनेवर यू क्रिब, अरे सुबह उठना पड़ रहा है सर, वेलकम टू सी एग्जाम्स. सर ये पढ़ना पड़ रहा है, वेलकम टू सी एग्जाम्स. यू विल कीप हियरिंग मी टेलिंग द सेम थिंग. बिकॉज देखो, अगर आपने को 15% पासिंग में आना है, मतलब 100 में से 15 बच्चे अगर क्लियर हो रहे हैं, so in that case, my dear student, you have to work more harder than the balance 85, and trust me, those 85 are also giving their best shot. So you have to be better than those who are giving their best shots. So what do? You have to work super hard. You have to be extremely well planned, strategically very sound, properly executing, routine based, robotic sometimes in nature. Sometimes you have to be. बोलो क्लियर एकदम ये. नेक्स्ट क्वेरी प्लीज टेल मी. रेज योर हैंड, आस्क मी द क्वेरी प्लीज. Raise your hand and ask me the query. No other queries? Okay. Good. Done. So let me just now talk about the one-to-one session. So then we can end the session then after that. I'll be putting a message regarding the one-to-one session today only in the group. You have to book your slot. Book slot. Okay. Book slot means what? When I put the message in the PDLC group, you guys have to tell me, Karthik sir, can we have a discussion tomorrow? So when you tell tomorrow, or you said tomorrow evening, then I may not give tomorrow evening because I may be busy. So if I give you tomorrow afternoon, then I will request you all to just do that minor adjustment, because even I will be having the lectures. So if I say tomorrow afternoon, so afternoon को आप लोग आ जाइए. So afternoon को tomorrow अगर मैंने afternoon बोल दिया, तो afternoon में your slot, one-to-one slot we can book. Let's say I will tell you tomorrow 2 p.m. So I've told you 2 p.m. ठीक है. So अगर if today is what, today is let's say Saturday. So अगर मैंने बोल दिया tomorrow afternoon 2 p.m. So now you, when I message you in your personal chat that tomorrow 2 p.m., you message me, sir, I want to book a mentorship session. I'll tell you tomorrow 2 p.m. Tomorrow 2 p.m. जो रहेगा ना यहाँ पे, 2 o'clock will be having our mentorship session. It can be on call. Okay. Earlier I used to do video call, but I used to see that many वो तुम लोग के लिए भी तामझाम है, मेरे लिए भी तामझाम है, because Sometimes I'm at home, I'm relaxed, so I don't want to do video call. Sometimes I'm in class, sometimes in the middle of lecture, sometimes there is sound around, so I don't want to do video call. Similar, it can be the situation in your place also. If video call is not possible, video call if it is great because then I come to know you with your expression also sometimes ki kya hal hai. Better way to do mentorship. But अगर possible नहीं है, in that case normal call is also fine. Okay. 2 PM को अगर Sunday को है ना अगर mentorship session, I have a request. Sunday morning you have to send me a message. Sunday morning that my mentorship session is at 2 PM today. ऐसे आई वॉन्ट यू ऑल टू जस्ट सेंड मी अ मैसेज ताकि वो फिक्स हो जाए so that because I'll also keep time aside and then you also know that you have a session, so there is like a confirmation but coming from your side. So I'll say Sunday 2 PM, you give me a thumbs up, but on that day, suppose if I tell you Tuesday 3 PM, so Tuesday morning give me a message saying that sir my mentorship session is at 3 PM today. ये Tuesday मेरे को एक मैसेज ड्रॉप कर देना सुबह. That is how we'll proceed. Mentorship session में what do? I don't interfere with your schedule. I don't. Everybody has a different routine, different style. I, with whatever experience I have till now in CA coaching, I know that every student's study pattern, studying method, grasping power, memorization strength, their writing ability are all different. We all are unique and wired in unique ways, different ways. I understand that. So when we have a mentorship session, no, I first of all will simply ask you about your, you have to share with me your macro, your micro plan, your oomph list. This is what you have to share me. Before the revision 3 session, I'll be requesting you all to share with me the great areas, GRAR, I'll request you to share with me. This I need so that I know that when we are on the call or when you're having a video call, I should have it on WhatsApp, your micro, macro, oomph and GRAR list. So that exactly we come to know कि तुम लोगों का क्या हाल चल रहा है यहाँ पे, या प्लान अगर डिविएट हो गया तो भी प्लान डिविएशन कैसे हुआ, मतलब व्हाट हाउ मेनी डेज यू आर टेकिंग एक्स्ट्रा, नो बफर कितना हो गया, ऑल दिस थिंग्स वी विल हैव टू कैलकुलेट. सो इसके लिए ये पहले बेच के रखना है. दूसरी बात ये है कि इंश्योर करना दैट यू आर also adhering to what I say. When I say to you, and if I tell you, ye follow karna hai, then you please follow it. I had a student, I'll not take her name. I had one of the worst mentorship session with that student. The reason is, I used to tell that student, this is area. On the call, she used to say, हाँ sir, एक हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा. After 3 days, the student used to say, sir, अब तो ये नहीं हो रहा ये. So I agreed, ठीक है नहीं हो रहा, so let's make another plan. तो भी बना दिया, उसमें बना बोल दिया, हाँ, then in the call, हाँ sir, ये हो जाएगा, this I can do it. After 2 days again, sir, ये पता नहीं कैसे ये मेरे से नहीं हो रहा. So that give up attitude अगर रहेगा ना, then you understand here I cannot help you that much. For that you also need to take it as a challenge कि अच्छा ये मेरे को इतने दिन में खत्म करना है, तो मुझे भी वो अच्छे से खत्म करना चाहिए. I understand 1-2 दिन का बफर हो सकता है. Some lethargy, 1 or 2 days you don't feel like studying, that may happen. हो सकता है, but ensure करना that you are also disciplined at your end. I'm telling that if I'm putting an effort towards your mentorship, you also put an equal effort of being disciplined. That is how it goes. Okay. How many of you all, first of all, so by the way, this is for our class students, so there is no what do you call extra fees or something for this, and there is for you it is included. So tell me in the chat area how many of you all are interested first of all, so I can gauge a number in the mentorship session. Please write there 1-1. Just write there 1-1, so I understand that I can get a number here. Excellent. Okay, so I think almost all students. So I'll drop a message in the group today, and please ensure that you are sending me a message on personal chat that you're interested in the mentorship session. I'll give you a time slot. Let's get it kicking. Mentorship session will be one of the best experiences that you will have. You will realize that you will see a different side of me. I've been a teacher for you till now. Mentorship is a different role I play. Many a time students discuss lot of things with me, and sometimes even I get into a black hole and I sometimes become a therapist in a way, because the things that they discuss, you can discuss, but sometimes I don't prefer it. But when they discuss, it becomes a very what do you call gloomy day for me also, because what I hear, बहुत सारी चीज डिस्कस करते हैं, घर का इशू, some issue with in relationship, something this that. So it becomes very very heavy for me also sometimes. But my entire job is to ensure that you clear CA Inter in as much joyful mood as possible, in as much organized way as possible. So I'm there to purely help you in that. Andheri branch, I take it up. I take up mentorship sessions from my own side. This I have put up my hand and said, Andheri branch hai. I stay in Andheri. I have a good affection with the students here. Students from other branches also. But Andheri hai to mere ghar ke paas mein, so it is easier for me to build a rapport or feel close. So in that case, I am doing it so that you guys clear in the first attempt or with a rank. Proud to say that the rank holders that we have got till now, maximum rank holders are from Andheri branch. This is what the stats say. I'm very proud of that. And that is because of maybe a sincere mentorship program that I am able to run and doing it properly. So I want you all to also be a part of it and feel pride that we are Andheri students, and we have to ensure that we are doing entire full masti we do. We have done all the fun and all in the class. True, we have done that. But now it is to ensure that um, we are pushing ourselves and ensure that we are clearing the CA examination. And there is that joy of having fun in the class along with learning, of course, and then being disciplined and clearing. Then that is that joy that you get कि अरे यार मैंने तो बहुत अच्छे से ये वाला attempt clear किया है यहाँ पे. Okay, and I only provide mentorship to Andheri branch only. So ensure करना है यहाँ पे that you are taking the best benefit out of it. Okay. Any query? Rishi has raised his hand. Rishi, बोलो यार. Unmute. Tell me.
Sir, so one of the major issues is that in accounts, जैसे subject, so the portion is too vast. So even if I complete like the 70% I've completed, now it has been a while, like 2-3 weeks it has been since I completed. So now I don't have that confidence. Like it's so vast that I don't remember everything.
Okay. I'm going to discuss an important area now. I want you all to hear me out. Rishi has raised a very good point. सुनो क्या बोल रहा हूं मैं ध्यान से. See, you guys have to understand one area very very clearly. I think this is one of the most important advice I'm going to give you. भी जितना भी मैंने दिया उससे भी ज्यादा मैं एडवाइस देने वाला हूं जो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट होने वाला है. अंडरस्टैंड. सी, you guys are into something called as an efficiency game and not in something called as memorizing game. तुम लोग यहाँ पे एफिशिएंसी गेम खेल रहे हो, मेमोराइजिंग गेम नहीं खेल रहे हो. एफिशिएंसी गेम का मतलब क्या है? अंडरस्टैंड. सपोज मैनेजमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन चैप्टर ऑफ कंपनी लॉ चैप्टर 7. Suppose, my dear student, chapter 7 management administration takes you all around let's say 12 hours to prepare. The first time you guys did it. So the day I taught, or they I think in your branch this topic was taken by someone else. जिससे भी सिखाया उस दिन अगर घर पे आके किया रहेंगे या अभी अगर किया रहेगा, फर्स्ट टाइम जब भी किया हो. So I'm taking it as reading 1. I'm taking it as reading 1. उस टाइम पे सपोज इट टुक यू 12 hours to do it. टीचर को सिखाने के लिए 12 to 14 hours जाते हैं, आपको भी 12 hours लगे पढ़ने के लिए. ठीक है. इसके बाद है ना, सपोज इज दिस चैप्टर इफ यू टेक ड्यूरिंग रिविजन, नो, एंड ड्यूरिंग रिविजन अगर आपको यहाँ पे ये जो रिविजन यहाँ पे वो रिविजन 1 में अगर आपको ये चैप्टर नंबर 7 को करने में अगर आपको लेट्स से 9.5 hours गए, सो रिमेंबर व्हाट यू हैव डन इज you have kept quality high, you have again kept quality high, but you are able to crash the time. आप अभी कम टाइम पे कर पा रहे हो. इट्स अ विन, इट्स अ सुपर विन, वेरी वेरी गुड विन. Revision 2, when you do here revision 2, in that revision 2 what happens is you are able to even further crash it. Your chapter number 7 gets over, let's say, in around 6 hours, because you have got a little more better at it. So in that case again you are delivering the same quality and you are successful in crashing the time. Revision number 3 when you do, okay, revision 3 when you do, at that time, my dear students, in that case, suppose you are able to wrap up chapter number 7 in, let's say, 4 hours. In that case, again, see, quality is intact and you are able to crash the time. This is a great win. Great win. बहुत सही win है. The reason is your 12 hours has now become 4 hours. तो भी एक क्यों होता है ना, यू टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड वेयर योर फोकस शुड बी। ये क्यों हो रहा है ध्यान से समझना, बिकॉज दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्कशन। Understand your brain's memory. Okay, I'm going to show you something on the screen. Understand very carefully what I'm telling you. Look here, see. See, when you study a chapter for the first time, no, Rishi and other students, आपके दिमाग में ये पूरा अपने स्लॉट हुआ रहता है कि अच्छा ये एरिया, दिस इज दिस पार्ट, दिस दैट पार्ट। मैनेजमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में लेट्स से annual return is section number 92. You know 92 very very well. Let's say you have section number 115 special notice. उन्होंने वो अच्छे से पढ़ लिया, ध्यान में बैठ गया दिमाग में। So that area is stored in your mind. This happens when you do your reading one. अभी रीडिंग टू में क्या होता है कि अभी सोचो रीडिंग वन में अगर आपका इतने अच्छे से हो गया, तो रीडिंग टू शुड गेट ओवर इन वन ओनली। When you take this matter after 1 month, let's sorry, your revision one, when you take this matter one more time, it should get over in one only. ये तो अपन ने तो अच्छे से कर लिया था। So that entire 12 hours that you did, now it should get over in 1 hour only. लेकिन वो होता नहीं है, क्यों नहीं होता? Because you understand your CG. When you take a little later, no, see, understand your this you feel is strong, this is strong, this is strong, this is strong, this is strong, maybe this is strong, this is strong, this is strong, this is strong, this is strong. आपको बस इतना ही ढंग से याद है जो मैंने पर्पल में मार्क किया, आपको उतना ही ढंग से याद है। So that is why what happens is because you now ask yourself, why are you able to cover in 9.5 hours? You're able to cover in 9.5 hours because the areas that you see in purple on the screen, no, those are the areas which are helping you to bring it down by that 2.5 hours का time. 12 hours से 9.5 hours क्यों आया? Because वो जो कुछ एरिया आपको बहुत अच्छे से याद है। मैनेजमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में लेट्स से प्रॉक्सी का जो प्रोविजन है, यू रिमेंबर वेरी वेरी वेल 105. Let's say 102 explanatory statement you remember very very well, notice you remember very very well, AGM you remember very very well. उसकी वजह से टाइम क्रैश हो रहा, टाइम कम हो रहा। तो इधर आप क्या कर रहे हो? When you are doing this, no, what you are doing is now you are building that, you are building a bridge. You are doing this, you are again taking those 9.5 hours जिसमें आप इसको अच्छे से कर रहे हो, इसको अच्छे से कर रहे हो, इसको अच्छे से कर रहे हो, अच्छे से कर रहे हो, इसको अच्छे से कर रहे हो, इसको अच्छे से कर रहे हो, एंड दैट इज टेकिंग दैट 9.5 hours का टाइम। जो ऑलरेडी पहले किया था उसका में भी रिवीजन का थोड़ा टाइम लग रहा है, और जो काफी कुछ याद नहीं है उसमें टाइम लग रहा है यहाँ पर। Now what happens when you go to your next revision? See, understand, when you go to your next revision, no, now your brain has understood the game. What your brain is doing is now your brain is able to understand. Do you remember this well, this well, this well, this well, this well, this well, this you remember well, this you remember well, and you're here. Now, because that purple areas you remember very well, no, that is why, my dear students, you are taking 6 hours instead of 12 hours, because your majority of the 6 hours is going in what, your majority of 6 hours is going in making this bridge, the area that you have forgotten a little bit. अच्छा ये देख लेते वापस, अच्छा ये देख लेते वापस, अच्छा इसको स्ट्रॉन्ग करना, अच्छा इसको स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है, आपका टाइम इस पे जा रहा है। एंड जो बैलेंस एरिया दैट इज टेकिंग लेसर टाइम, वो आपका फटाफट हो रहा है। क्यों है? व्हाई वर यू एबल टू क्रैश? बिकॉज दी पर्पल एरिया इज ऑलरेडी स्ट्रॉन्ग। Now, when you go for your revision 3, in that area ka major areas are supremely strong, supremely. This is the situation. So the mending work that you have to do, mending work means the repair work that you have to do. You have to do only regarding this area, this area, this area, this area, this area. बस इसका repair करना. That is why it is taking much more lesser time. Clear? इसमें एक और तुम लोग है ना, why you are worried about CA exam so much? You study for CA exam like you did 10th standard. वैसी पढ़ाई करो। मैं नहीं बोल रहा पोर्शन सेम है या बहुत इजी है, मैं बोल रहा हूँ वैसी पढ़ाई करो। 10th में बोलो क्लास में तुम लोग कोई क्लास ज्वाइन करेगा, क्लास में एक बार टॉपिक पढ़ा है, क्लास में कोई टेस्ट आ गया, बोलो एक बार पढ़ाई किया था तभी, जब पढ़ाई किया था तभी क्लास का टेस्ट अच्छे से दे पाए? द आंसर इज यस। बोला वो क्लास का टेस्ट देने के बाद नेक्स्ट एग्जाम दैट यू गिव, वाज इट योर डायरेक्टली योर बोर्ड एग्जाम? प्लीज टेल मी, वाज इट योर बोर्ड एग्जाम? टेल मी इन द चैट एरिया। वो क्लास का एक चैप्टर टेस्ट सिखाने के बाद जो अगला जो एग्जाम दिया था, वाज इट योर बोर्ड एग्जाम? प्लीज टेल मी। अरे बोलो यार, अरे नहीं ना, नहीं ना, सही बात है ना, नहीं था। तो आपने क्या किया था यहाँ पे? आपने यहाँ पे एक और बार रिवीजन किया था ना, किया था ना। बाद में तुम लोग ने के क्लासेस या स्कूल में यहाँ पे प्रीलिम 1 हुआ था ना, प्रीलिम 1, बाद में क्लासेस या स्कूल में प्रीलिम 2 हुआ था ना, तब जाके देन यू गेव योर बोर्ड एग्जाम। Where am I asking you to do anything different from that? You are doing the same thing. Why are you having unusual expectation in CA exam? वायर होएगा अनयूजुअल एक्सपेक्टेशन कि एक बार में पढ़ लिया तो मुझे आगे याद होना, याद तो सब रहना चाहिए। सब कैसे याद नहीं है? सब होना चाहिए याद। अगर मैंने बहुत अच्छे से किया तो सब याद होना चाहिए। अगर बहुत अच्छे से किया हो ना तो ध्यान सुना, अगर बहुत अच्छे से किया हो ना तो इस दौरान इस एरिया में यू विल हैव मोर पर्पल एरियाज एंड लेस गैप फिलिंग। अगेन रिवीजन ये अच्छे से किया हो ना यहाँ पे तो यू विल हैव मोर पर्पल एरियाज एंड लेस गैप फिलिंग हियर। अगर ये अच्छे से किया हो ना तो यू विल हैव मोर पर्पल एरियाज एंड लेस गैप फिलिंग हियर। मतलब आपने इधर कैसे कितने अच्छे से किया दैट अफेक्ट्स दिस, इधर कितने अच्छे से किया दैट अफेक्ट्स दिस, इधर कितने अच्छे से किया दैट अफेक्ट्स दिस। That is why I keep telling, ensure that whenever you study, give quality, because वो क्वालिटी आपको आगे चल के कम सफरिंग देगा। सबके दिमाग में ये फंडा एकदम क्लियर। ऋषि प्लीज टेल मी आफ्टर डूइंग अनम्यूट, अंडरस्टूड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से?
Yes, sir, understood.
तो सर मुझे याद नहीं था, मैंने पहले अच्छे से किया था, याद नहीं आ रहा। नॉर्मल है ना ऋषि, नॉर्मल है ना। इज अ नॉर्मल प्रोसेस ऑफ एन एग्जामिनेशन, नॉर्मल प्रोसेस। मेरे को कितना बार आता है पता है ऑडिट के लिए? Karthik sir, we use so much this technique, that technique. So it's been 3 months since I opened the audit book. Now when I open, I don't remember anything. मैंने बोला why did you expect anything different? Of course you will not remember most of the areas यार. Of course 3 महीना हो चुका है, 3 महीना हो चुका है. Correct no? Rishi, tell me 3 months
Yes,
back.
sir.
Rishi, tell me 3 months back. Where did you travel? And at what time you traveled? Which train did you take? Which number train did you take? Can you tell me that with clarity?
No, sir.
Correct. Correct. So how will you remember? But Rishi, if I am your best friend and if I remind you every month, पता है तू है ना यहाँ पे 3 महीने पहले इधर गया, तू पता है तूने 1 महीने पहले तू यहाँ गया था। Not a month gets I tell you, पता है 2 महीने पहले तू यहाँ गया था, पता है 1 more month, पता है 3 महीने पहले तू यहाँ गया था। If I tell you every time, then now tell me, will you be able to remember 3 months back where you were, what you were doing, which bus you took?
हाँ sir, okay.
हाँ, क्योंकि अपने रिविजन किया है। अरे लॉजिक क्लियर और नो?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody has any such queries? See, Rishi is very proactive. He's asking proper queries. I can feel that he's going to clear in the first attempt for sure. उसके दिमाग में इधर एजेंडा कि क्लियर तो करना ही करना है, मान लिया उसने। So anybody else has any other query, please ask openly. It's a good space to ask because your friends may have the same query.
Sir,
Bol, who is this? One
sir,
second.
Lavya.
Lavya, how are you? Tell me.
I'm fine, sir. So I had a doubt कि government audit कब होएगा? Because Unit 2 में वापस है Chapter 9.
कर देंगे अभी गवर्नमेंट ऑडिट का। सी वो गवर्नमेंट ऑडिट नो 45 मिनट्स का। आई एम गोइंग टू कंबाइन ऑल बैचेस। मैं ऑनेस्टली बोलता गवर्नमेंट ऑडिट का फंडा क्या है, वो है ना वन ऑफ द मोस्ट बोरिंग एरियाज है ऑडिट का। ये मेरा प्रॉब्लम है। सो आई ओनली टोल्ड निहाल सर, सारे बैचेस September 25 of Andheri, Borivali, other branches, January 25 of Andheri, Borivali, other branches, सबको कंबाइन करो और मैं एक सेशन लूंगा मैक्सिमम ऑफ 40 minutes to 1 hour का, and we'll wrap up government audit. So let me see in the next week only. I'll arrange it and wrap it up.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ठीक है ना, don't worry. That is my problem. That is I am pushing it for online. इसके लिए ठीक है। And Nihal sir, you know him, he's a dear friend of mine. He also is accommodating in this, so I appreciate him. So clear एकदम ये? Excellent. Now that completes this area. You will get my message in the group.